Hey, digital stewards, preservers, colleagues. Welcome to the 2021 NDSA Digital Preservation Conference, hashtag DigiPres21. My name is Tricia Patterson, and I am this year's DigiPres Chair. As we are a community that safeguards history, before I introduce our program this year, I'd like to recognize the history and present of the land I currently inhabit. I am transmitting to your screen, hello, from my home in Medford, Massachusetts, in the United States, originally inhabited by the Pawtucket and Massachusetts tribes. Explorers and colonists invaded and stole this land from them and appropriated their tribal name for what is now known as the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Against many odds, the Massachusetts tribal nation survives today and is represented by their descendants. Now, many of you may already know the history of the land that you're on, but if you don't, you can try resources like native-land.ca, or you can text your city and state to this number, 1-855-917-5263. It actually leverages the same data as the website. And it's a great first step towards identifying ways to support the existing communities today through initiatives like land reparations. For example, in Massachusetts, we have the Native Land Conservancy, which accepts donations of land for conservation and stewardship by Indigenous peoples. And a quick shout out to one of last year's very own NDSA award winners. If you haven't already checked them out, the Tribe Sourcing Southwest Film Project. It's a digital heritage project that recenters the narrative of old educational videos about Native peoples by recording new alternate narration from their own perspectives. Our conference theme this year is embracing digitality. And for anyone unfamiliar with that term, as I was, digitality is the condition of living in a digital culture. Our program committee this year crafted this theme and vision, and I think it really speaks to where we are collectively right now. Digitality was already pervasive in our lives, but it's been really accelerated the past 2 years as more of our interactions were consolidated into digital environments. And while in 2020, it felt like it was about trying to get our bearings and understand everything that was happening in the world, 2021, it feels like we've shifted a bit into this next stage of responding deliberately when we can. So, so much of our existence is more heavily steeped in the digital realm, and our digital footprints, the footprints of our lives, have expanded, and that's just the reality. And instead of rejecting or denying that and trying to continue to do things according to the status quo, how can we instead take advantage of what digitality means in our lives and in our work? Embrace the affordances of it, critically assess how it's manifested so far, engage in the broader conversations and collaborations that are enabled by all of this, and open our minds to build something stronger for our field. It's an exciting time. These are the exceptional members of our DigiPres Planning Committee this year, and I'm going to take a page from last year's conference chair, Courtney Muma, and recognize them individually because we aren't in a room all together where I can ask them to stand up for a round of applause. So please do join me in the conference platform chat to virtually applaud these folks. They put in the work outside of their actual jobs to craft an awesome program for all of us to enjoy and learn from this year. Jess Neal, this year's vice chair and next year's conference chair. Rachel Lapel, Heather Barnes, Moriah Caruso, Chelsea Denault, Stacy Erdman, Angela Fritz, Deirdre Joyce, Alex Kinnaman, Monique Lassere, Ruby Martinez, Krista Oldham, Patrice Andre Pradam, Thomas Polhamus, Amy Rudersdorf, Kim Schroeder, Beth Shields, Kristen Weichedel, Frederick Zarnt, Lauren Wark, and Aaliyah Reich, who I want to mention is the Council on Library and Information Resources and the Digital Library Federation's program manager for conferences and events, working tirelessly across all three events this year, affiliated events, DigiPres, DLF Forum, and Learn at DLF, which is a perfect transition to thanking the DLF and CLEAR, our institutional home, the roof over NDSA's head, the concrete foundation under our feet, some house metaphor that conveys how much structure and support they offer NDSA. We're very fortunate to work so closely with them. And speaking of beneficial partnerships, thank you to our sponsors this year, AVP Data Curation Experts, DuraCloud, Quartex, Ubiquity Press, and Digital Bedrock. These folks are our colleagues and collaborators, and they're doing fantastic work. And since I am pre-recording this, we might have more sponsors by now. So please do check out the full list of sponsors for all of the events in the sponsor area within our conference platform. And a final thank you to all of you here today. You, hello you. This annual digital preservation meeting is open to NDSA members and non-members alike. And if you aren't an NDSA member or aren't sure whether or not you are, I encourage you to visit the membership page to find out more about the benefits. It's a friendly, curious, engaged community made up of over 260 member organizations. So join us. A quick overview of what y'all can expect today. First of all, thanks so much for trying out this new platform with us this year. Going virtual last year was a big change, but it's been a really cool opportunity the past 2 years now to experiment with what works well in a remote format. And I'm excited to see what we managed to improve on this year and what needs to continue to be adapted. So right after these opening remarks, the program will kick off with 2 tracks. If you're a new member or you just want to get a landscape view of what NDSA leadership and interest in working groups are up to and find out how you can get involved with that work, the NDSA Welcome Brunch is the place for you. And right alongside that, we have a new format this year, our solution rooms, which will be a great place to connect with colleagues looking to brainstorm practical solutions to real stewardship problems. We have an amazing lineup of panels and presentations this year, and no worries. If you're torn between program offerings that are in the same time slot, proceedings will be posted after the conference at some point on the NDSA YouTube channel. If you are attending a session live though, we're very pleased to be able to offer both chat and video Q&A options this year as presenters preferred. Attendees last year offered feedback asking for more live engagement, so this is part of that iteration and adaptation. We will reunite halfway through the program for a plenary session with Dr. Tanya Sutherland. We are honored to have Dr. Sutherland joining us from Hawaii this year to deliver her keynote talk. And then we hope you'll be able to stay with us through the end of our program for the plenary lightning talk session, the reveal of this year's NDSA Excellence Award winners, as well as the closing remarks from our conference vice chair, Jess Neal. And we've also got some informal, casual opportunities to connect with other attendees and be able to chat and enjoy everyone that way. And there might even be a way to win your very own NDSA mug, perfectly formed to deliver hot or cold beverages to your mouth region. I'd be remiss not to mention that DigiPres perfectly aligned this year with World Digital Preservation Day. Yes. Our peer organization, the Digital Preservation Coalition, DPC, creates these super cool stickers in many different languages. You can check them out at the link on this slide, but we'll add it to the conference chat as well. So happy World Digital Preservation Day. We think you'll get your fill of all things DigiPres today. And this is it. I promise this is my last slide. But before we part ways and you continue on your voyage through today's program, I want to leave you with a poem that I think speaks to the heart of our theme, embracing digitality this year. This is Allow by Dana Folds. There is no controlling life. Try corralling a lightning bolt, containing a tornado. Dam a stream, and it will create a new channel. Resist, and the tide will sweep you off your feet. Allow, and grace will carry you to higher ground. The only safety lies in letting it all in, the wild and the weak, fear, fantasies, failures, and success. When loss rips off the doors of the heart, or sadness fills your vision with despair, practice becomes simply bearing the truth. In the choice to let go of your known way of being, the whole world is revealed to your new eyes. This reminds me that in not resisting the changes that have happened, and instead allowing ourselves to be bewildered and disoriented, and not trying to seek shelter and climbing back into our old grooves and patterns, we can really increase our resiliency and make room for meaningful change in our field, at work, and most importantly, in our lives. So I am delighted to explore and engage with the work shared by our colleagues with all of you today. Thank you so much for being here, and enjoy.